lives and never catch a single salmon. And if they buy everything you need to get the fish, they still don't catch them. So it comes down to whether or not you're lucky enough, which makes it even more exciting in the long run because the salmon kind of chooses you.
Once a staple of pre-European Northwest native cuisine, the salmon has become a fixture of the American diet nationwide. The journey from stream to plate, however, is long and difficult. On the Columbia River, an extensive system of dams blocks the path to the Pacific Ocean. While hydroelectric technology accounts for nearly 15% of U.S. power generation, dams also kill about 92% of salmon headed out to sea, a fact that complicates the presiding agency's management of the species. The controversy reached a boiling point this April when federal and state officials could not agree on a method for transporting salmon past the dams. Those concerned with diminishing salmon runs proposed a system of spilling the salmon over the dams, wherein water flows are manipulated to allow juvenile salmon to more easily navigate them. President Obama's National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration was hesitant to adopt this strategy because of the potential for decreased hydroelectric output.
Well, in policy analysis, and I make my living in part doing policy analysis, there's the old saying that nothing is free. If you want to produce electricity, no matter what the source, including hydro, is, it will have consequences. One of the consequences of producing electricity through hydro is adverse effects on salmon. And that some ways to produce electricity are less damaging to salmon than other ways, but none of them are free. All of them will have effects. So the more water you spill over a dam, while that may be good for salmon, it's not good for energy production. So there's a clear trade-off. So if you want abundant, cheap energy, i.e. through hydro, there's going to be a cost. One of those costs is going to be in salmon. And by the end of this century, 2100, the number of people will be somewhere along the order of 80 or 100 million people, a quadrupling or quintupling of the population. Now, if you have a quintupling of the population in this region by 2100, your options for sustaining wild salmon runs at significant levels is pretty small. So if you accept that, that really constrains your options. If you look at a quadrupling of the human population and the corresponding demands that society will place on the environment, maintaining salmon runs at significant runs through this century, at significant levels through this century, will be extremely challenging.
When when I come home from the sea, I never know quite how being out there with the wily sockeye is going to influence me. It's quite an amazing experience to be out in the wild frontier.
As expanding human populations increase the strain on dwindling resources, they must decide whether or not they, too, will choose the salmon.